Hey everybody, I just want to do a short video on the different classes of motors. There's been a lot of discrepancies going around about motors with throttles versus non-throttle. So let's get into it. First of all, let's talk about class 1. Class 1s are up to 20 miles an hour pedal assist. And what we mean by pedal assist is there is no throttle where you can just sort of go like a moped. You do have to pedal, and there will be a monitor and a computer that will help you work with the motor and give you the assistance that you need. Generally, our bikes have 4 levels of assistance. Some have 3, some only have 1. A lot of times when you're talking about a 20 mile an hour class 1, you're talking about a cruiser or something like that, but you're also talking about mountain bikes because mountain bikes don't need a lot of speed, and so what they need more is torque, and so they're not gonna be high on the high end of speed, but they're gonna be able to get you up and down that mountain. So you're gonna be looking at a 20 or sometimes even lower, depending on what country you live in. I believe in Europe, there are some countries that actually believe, I actually believe class 1s are 15 miles an hour. So depending on what country you live in, that kind of determines what your classes are, but in the United States, our class 1 is 20 miles an hour pedal assist. Now here's where it gets tricky. Now you're talking about class 2. And this is actually what we get a lot of questions about. A lot of people come in and first thing they say is, where's the throttle? They want to sit on that bike and they just want to throttle away and they don't want to do any pedaling and they want the bike to do all the work. That is a class 2. And where it gets tricky is with a class 2, it is, 20 miles an hour with pedal assist. But when you start talking about the throttle, a lot of times it's actually a lower speed. Okay? So with the class 2, you're talking throttle like a moped, so you can get on and go and not pedal, or you have the option to use pedal assistance, okay? A lot of people come in and they say, that's the lazy person's bike. It's not the lazy person's bike. Each one of these classes has a different need or a sort of a different way that they work. A lot of times, let's be honest, I'm in Detroit. I see a lot of people on these 100-pound cruiser bikes, and there's no way that you're gonna be able to pedal a 100-pound bike all over the town. So I can see why you might want a throttle, especially on some of these rides where they go 20 miles on these cruisers. So now you're gonna get into the next level, which is class 3. Class 3 is pedal assist up to 28 miles an hour, okay? So another question that people ask when they come in is, how fast does this go? The legal limit for a class 3 is 28 miles an hour. Anything above that, you're talking danger. A friend of mine asked me one time, have I ever jumped out of a car going 40 or 50 miles an hour? And of course I said no. And they said, well, that's what it would feel like if you were on an e-bike and you fell going 40 or 50 miles an hour. So they're definitely not gonna do that. If you have an e-bike or any type of bike that is going 40 to 50 miles an hour and you are not wearing the proper gear, you are gonna seriously injure yourself. So class 3's up to 28 miles an hour, and those are generally for commuters, okay? So those are the bikes for people that are using that bike every single day to get to work, and they might need that 28 miles an hour because they're mixing with traffic, and the traffic might be going 25 to 30 miles an hour, sometimes 35, so you need that 28, all right? So those are the 3 classes of, e-bikes, okay? I get a lot of questions, and once again, we're in a judgment-free zone here. So no one's gonna look at you and say, oh, you've got a moped. Well, I might look at you and say you have a moped, actually, if you do come into the shop, I will, full disclosure, if you come into the shop and you ask for a class 2, I'm gonna respond with, we don't sell mopeds here. We actually sell pedal assist bikes, all right? So, but we're not judging. I don't judge anybody outside of here. It's sort of a crack a little joke that I have. Everybody has their own thing and their own need. All right, so before we get out here and we start looking at each other and saying your bike is lazier than mine, let's put ourselves in their shoes, all right, everybody? Thanks for watching.